So let's look through the homework solutions that you had on Monday. I asked you to sketch the graphs of these functions here. So we'll write down the three pieces of information that we have. We know that it is U-shaped because x squared is positive. We know that the y-intercept is at y equals 9. And the third piece of information comes from finding the roots, finding where it crosses the x-axis. So we're looking for numbers that will add to give me -6 and multiply to give me a +9. So hopefully you are all able to see that we have an equal root here at x -3 and x -3. Okay, so we can complete the square with that if we wanted to. So we have roots at x equals 3. It's equal roots, so it touches. It's going to touch the x-axis at x equals 3. Okay, I'll sketch that graph in a second. I'm just going to go through the same process with this one. So again, it's U-shaped because x squared is positive. It goes through the y-axis at y equals +8. And my roots, I'm looking for something that adds to give me a -6 and multiplies to give me a +8. So we've got x -4 and x -2, meaning that I have distinct roots, real distinct roots at x equals 4 and x equals 2. Okay, so let's sketch these on the same graph. We know that our y-axis needs to go up as far as 9. And we do go through the x-axis. We do have roots. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we don't need any -x values actually in this case. It's okay, we can just still draw in with a little bit of space. Plenty of space here. So my x-axis needs to get as far as 4. Let's give plenty of space here. 1, 2, I don't think I've got 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You don't have to draw in all the numbers. So you've got the main ones there, you're fine. You should label your x-axis and your y-axis, and it's fine to use pen for the axes, but for the actual graphs you need to use pencil. And again, you can use pen for the points to make them stand out. So the first one here, I've got a single root, an equal root at x equals 3, and it goes through the y-axis at y equals 9. Okay, and it's symmetrical, but that's enough information to sketch the graph here. So my graph is U-shaped and it's going to come down and just touch my axis there at 3 and then be completely symmetrical. I could fill in some more points if I wanted to, but again, remember what I said about sketching. If you're asked to sketch, there's not a lot of marks going for it. Usually about 5 marks going for the sketch of a graph. So that means you need to do it in about 2.5 minutes. Whatever the marks are, divide by 2 for your timing. So there is my first, let's call this one f of x. And we'll call this one g of x, just to help us label them. Okay, my second graph then has roots at 4 and 2. 4 and 2, and it goes through my y-axis at 8, and it's still U-shaped, so I'm drawing exactly the same shape, except it's kind of shifted down a little bit. It's going through my axis here like this. My turning point somewhere beneath 3, and I don't have to be super accurate. I can work it out if I wanted to by completing the square by other methods. Once I've got the basic shape of the graph in, I can remove any extra scribbly bits of my line to make sure that I have a nice smooth curve. I really should have made this clear because they're kind of drawn on top of each other. So this one is f of x and this one is g of x. And see how it's scribbly there? So we can just remove any extra lines. Though it's fine to kind of leave it a bit scribbly unless you're asked to use it to calculate values. So that's fine. Those are my two graphs. You may have done them on separate axes and that's fine, but it's also fine to do them on the same one as well. Okay, so that's sketching graphs, and we're just going to go on and look at the last example in our notes now on page 41.